On August 23, fighters from the 34th Brigade of the 30th Marine Corps of the Ukrainian Armed Forces managed to raise the Ukrainian flag in an area of the Kherson region under occupation. A drone flying over territory controlled by the occupying Russian army also played the Ukrainian national anthem through a mounted speaker. The flag was placed on the highest tower in the area. August 23 is celebrated in Ukraine as the National Flag Day, and the operation was carried out to mark this significant occasion. The nearby occupying forces were unable to prevent the flag-raising operation. In the Donetsk region, the advance of Russian occupiers has been stopped, and more than 90 invaders have been eliminated. This was reported by the main intelligence directorate of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, which also released a video showing impressive footage of the unit's combat work. The Brotherhood unit, part of the Timur Special Forces of the GUR, together with their brothers from the Russian Volunteer Corps, successfully completed a combat mission to contain enemy forces in the Donetsk region. During the assault, the unit's fighters killed more than 90 Muscovites, and Brotherhood captured 5 more, the intelligence officers said. In total, FPV drone and drone bomber operators carried out more than 400 combat sorties and supported the ground component of the operation with precise strikes. Thus, thanks to the effective actions of the reconnaissance personnel, it was possible to stabilize the logistics of the defense forces in a certain area of responsibility and prevent the enemy from quickly advancing towards the borders of the Dnipropetrovsk region. During the special operation, several groups of so-called standard-bearers were also discovered and neutralized, Russian servicemen who, at the cost of their lives, hung tricolors for photos in territory not controlled by the enemy. This is being done, according to the GUR, in order to later falsely declare the capture of these settlements. All identified standard-bearers were either destroyed or captured by the Brotherhood fighters, Ukrainian intelligence officers note. Recall that the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Oleksandr Syrsky, stated that 6 settlements in the Pokrovsk direction have been cleared of Russian occupiers. As the general noted, special attention is being paid to the sections of the front where the situation is the most difficult. In particular, in the military command bodies, corps and brigades that are conducting stabilization operations on the Dobropilya salient, where the units of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and the National Guard of Ukraine are honorably carrying out combat missions. According to Syrsky, as a result of successful strike and search operations, hundreds of Russian occupiers have been destroyed.
Ukraine's armed forces have begun to encircle a Russian grouping that about a week ago broke through defenses in the Dobropilya area north of Pokrovsk to a depth of at least 10 kilometers, writes the military observer of the Russian service BBC, Ilham Aliyev, citing data from military analysts and monitoring channels. The AFU command had earlier transferred reinforcements, including a unit of the Azov National Guard, to the area of the breakthrough. By now, Ukrainian troops have managed to halt the offensive, regain control of settlements along the line of Rubizne, Zolotoy Kolodets, Veseloye, as well as cut into the base of the Russian bulge and create a counter-threat of encirclement, Abishev writes. The frontline Russian units, which have advanced furthest north, have already been cut off from the main forces, according to maps from the Ukrainian OSINT project, Deep State, and the Rybar Telegram channel close to the Russian Defense Ministry. Analysts at the US-based Institute for the Study of War ISW also point to the risk of encirclement of the Russian grouping. The two warring sides continue to move reserves and report heavy fighting in the area. Z-blogger Boris Rozin writes that as a result of the AFU's success in the Zolotoy Kolodets and Veseloye areas, the front line has shifted along the northern ridge toward Kucherevoy Yar. According to him, here Russian units still hold the defense over key heights of both sides in this area, have a relatively low density of personnel. The positions are of a focal nature and more like individual strongholds than a continuous line of defense. ISW notes, according to analysts, the overall situation in the area remains difficult and could change at any moment. So, Russian troops were threatened with encirclement near Dobropilya. Recalled recently the 1st Corps of the National Guard of Ukraine, Azov, with attached units, halted a Russian breakthrough near Dobropilya and encircled part of the salient, trapping Russian assault troops. The Corps' press service said that forces in the Pokrovsk sector stopped the advance and conducted search and strike operations that cleared Hurudsky, Rubizny, Novovodyane, Petrivka, Vesele, and Zolotoy Kolodets. Earlier, President Volodymyr Zelensky highlighted the role of the 79th and 82nd Airborne Assault Brigades operating in the sector. We are countering Russian attempts to gain a foothold and are increasing the pressure of our units on the invaders. We are having success.